computer, that share, and boomski. All right, welcome everybody to Digital PNA. The slideshow button didn't work, but here we go. I'm the president. Moving on from that face. These are all the members. No one needs to see my big freaking bobblehead. This is who we got. We haven't seen some of these faces in a while, and that's okay. Some of them are traveling. Some of them are off being awesome. I want to encourage something which we haven't really talked about much here. Just because we're all digital doesn't mean we can't have one-to-ones. I want to encourage you all to connect offline. Online, but offline, because like Karen's in like Quebec, another part of the world. So you're not gonna be able to go have a one-to-one with her face-to-face, but bobblehead to bobblehead, do it. And I always say this, sarcasm, I promise, not intended. You're not going to give referrals to people you don't like or you don't know, or at least you're attempting to establish a business working relationship with, right? You've got to know the ins and outs about them, what their needs are, et cetera, because we are, after all, an extension of each other's sales force, okay? And as always, you get a bonus, $100 spifferoni, not a kickback. That's illegal as of the late 80s, so I can't call it that, but probably is. Anyway, this is being recorded, so it's a spiff. It's my way of saying thank you for bringing people into the digital PNA family, as well as, of course, throughout the entire network. Always need the, wow, that was a complete sentence. I don't know what just happened. I need volunteers, please. I just had like a polite seizure there. That was weird. I'm going to assign it today. Let's be mean, Brian. Great idea. Okay, awesome. Karen, be the doodler today. Okay. Look how excited she is.
I can do that.
Look at that. That's when
I like to doodle.
You like to doodle. Good. Kelly, you're normally being attacked by tiny humans, so why not make it more difficult and make you the tracker today? Listen to anything that you think is quotable, or if anyone drops some numbers, drop it like it's hot, whatever. Data points, anything like that. You can put it in the chat window if you want to. You can write it on a pen, write it on a piece of paper, write it on your child's forehead. I don't care. Have fun with it. Marcel, let's make you the photographer, okay? Seems about right. Oh, wait, she's on her phone, so this might be extra difficult for her. But hey, challenge accepted.
Screenshot.
She'll do a screenshot, yeah. I'll time myself when I present because I'm probably just going to babble, but let's set the expectations there. We'll see. And I think we're good. So thanks everybody for offering yourselves up to be voluntold. Moving on, we're going to give commercials. Let's all give our 60-second commercial. And today, I want you to work in the question of the day instead of a whole separate section. Some people roll their eyes. Kelly almost knocked off her glasses. She rolled her eyes so hard. Just a simple question about syndication, right? What's the last podcast you listened to? What did you get out of it? And hey, just a thought, Kelly, tracker of all things datarific. If you hear cool podcasts, maybe you write it down and let us all know later, something like that. See, look at her. She's like, I got this. So I've apparently been drinking because I suddenly feel kind of wired. Maybe that's just because my caffeine finally kicked in. So work that into your commercial. It's going to kill the share screen because we don't need it. Stop share. Okay. Courtney, let's hear from you. Give us your bestest commercial, and then have you listened to a podcast lately?
Okay. Good afternoon. Courtney Balza with Country Financial. I do all things insurance and financial planning. So some of the things that I'm working on right now are, we just launched a new product at Country at the beginning of the year. So we're kind of like finally through all the kinks. It's our Index Universal Life. We haven't had it really since I've been working at Country, so it's exciting. More potential for cash value growth for people who are looking for something not necessarily in the market, because it has the potential for growth, but there's a floor, so you won't lose any money. So that it's a really cool product. I did one for my daughter to like try to figure it all out and just know exactly what I'm doing, because I do that with everything. If I have a product that I want to sell to people, I'll do one for myself or for somebody that I know, just so that I can work out all the kinks, because there's definitely kinks sometimes with new products, but I've done it and I know what I'm doing now, so it's exciting. And by the time my daughter is 65, she'll have like $800,000 in your cash value if the market does what we want it to do. we do it at like a conservative illustration at 5%, because if the market does worse or better, it will kind of be towards the middle. So yeah, that's a great product that we're offering now. And I also got licensed in Minnesota because one of my clients moved there and she was really interested in the product. So I was like, I think, oh, that's worth the licensing there to do it for her and her husband and her new baby that's coming. So
Wow.
that is what I'm working on right now. It's and podcasts. So I listen to true crime podcasts and it's kind of funny. I'm like listening to it so much that now like I went to visit my parents at their new house over in Concanelli, which is like in the middle of nowhere, no service. And they're like surrounded by woods. And I was like afraid to be outside by myself at night. Because my mom's like, you listen to too much true crime. One of the ones I listen to is called Morbid. It's really good. The girls are funny and it's morbid. So that's me.
That's awesome. I never want to get on your bad side because you totally know where to hide bodies.
Maybe.
My
Yeah.
gosh, that's scary. Wow. Okay. Well, did I mention on a nice look today, Courtney? Okay. Next up, Kelly.
All right, my name's Kelly. I run a nonprofit called the Union Connection. Currently, we're working, we have a DBA in place for Back the Blues in Homish County, where we get the community together to support officers in times of need with morale boosts. I'm actually currently and super excited. I had someone come by and he's got like a 95 Corvette, which, you know, my dad's a Ford guy, so I'm not going to tell him. But he's willing to wrap his car in my logo. And so that way we can get more community exposure. And we got someone in Mukilteo to cover the whole project. We just have to cover the materials. And we're like a fourth of the way of that goal already. So I'm super duper excited for next year. And then I have 2 events coming up for the Dan Rocha Foundation, so we can raise the money for that to actually get it started. And I've decided to make it its own entity and not put it in mine, just because if the Everett Police Department or his family or his boys ever want to take it over, it'll just be like a sign off instead of a bunch of paperwork. And I can keep them separate. So I'm super excited for that. My podcast, the last time I listened to it, I had to look it up. It's been a while. So thank you for reminding me. It's actually a podcast called It's Needed. And it's actually 2 officers that recently retired. And they have the hard discussions about what's going on in law enforcement. And they take certain things that have happened and analyze it. So it's really, really awesome. I actually want to reach out to them to see if maybe they would let me be on their podcast, but I need to get my story straight still. So we'll see if I actually do that. So that's
awesome. That's awesome, Kelly. Thank you. All right.
So I think I'm next, but I'm going to put my Ricardo hat on for a moment and picture this. You're on a cruise ship going to Antarctica. And picture this in your little hotel room there on the ship. There is a warming device built into the closet, so when all your clothes gets frozen from being out in the blizzard and hanging out with penguins all day, you come back onto the ship and your clothes get a little warm sauna. Kind of interesting. These are some of the things I learned about this week while helping out at Expedia. So you never know what's going to happen, but people are booking trips to Antarctica because apparently the Caribbeans are so last summer or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, if you have a dream about cruise, talk to Ricardo at Expedia Cruise Ships. Okay. And his last podcast, I don't know, probably how to hang out with penguins. I don't know. Okay, I'll put my Dreamosity hat on. Hey everybody, it's Marcel with Dreamosity. Do you consider yourself to have a body of work? Have you written more than 5 articles? Have you done more than 10 videos? Have you published 1, 2, or 3 books? Do you have a desire to create content that is published online? I help people organize and optimize their body of work with getting important messages out there on the internet. So if you've got an important message and you're like, you know what, only 20 people know about this, or only 5, it's only stuck in your head. If it's still stuck in your head, let me help pull the magic out so we can educate and inform people online and all across the country. And speaking of that, my last podcast was this guy, my sister sent me a link this morning. I can't even pronounce his name, but it's about mindset and brain and basically how we can rewire our brain. I think a lot of you know I'm on a health journey. And so like the language we say, whether if we say I'm broken or I'm hurt or I'm like if we tell ourselves we're sick, we're gonna be sick, right? So I'm warning, and I've known that before. Like I've done a lot of mindset work, but with this recent kind of scare, it's like I need to relearn that. So I am relearning all those medical mindset tricks because I think we are very powerful and our words are important, what we say. So that's what I'm learning about.
That's
Thank you,
great.
Brian.
That's great. Marcel, thank you. Kelly's trying to one-up me on the puppy thing. I will throw down with you, girl. Okay. Karen, let's hear from you.
So I am Karen Kurdig with KK Financial Solutions, and I do several things: financial advising, financial planning, sell life insurance, long-term care, annuities, depending on what's right for the client. I also do business valuations. So if you know of any businesses out there that are looking to sell or just want to know what the value of their business is, I also do that. Working with divorced people as a certified divorce financial analyst. So I have several different areas, and then I do money coaching as well. So I get approached by women who are in debt or have, budget problems and those types of things. And I try to make it fun for them so they don't feel like they're losing something by that terrible budget word. But so that is me. And I don't really listen to a podcast, but I listen to books on audiobook. And the latest book that I'm listening to is Spare, the one about Prince Harry. So that's pretty interesting, his tale of what's going on in his life and how he gets harassed by the paparazzi. So, and how the royal family doesn't do anything about it. So that's why they separated from the royal family. So anyway, I listen to audiobooks. So I started reading books and doing audiobooks here lately. So that's me.
Awesome. All right. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Brian Trendler, Laugh Tech. I co-own it with Miss Marcel Allen. I actually held up this puppy today at another meeting because, well, he's glued to me. But at the same time, I told him, I held him up like the Lion King and, said the Hakuna Matata joke and said, listen, you guys realize that every time you have a chance to be in front of folks, you're coming to them with the story in some way, shape, or form. And I know you're all curious, so ask me about the story about how I got this freaking puppy. I am clearly the victim. It's my kid's fault. I'm weak. And the whole point is people the whole time were doing what you're all doing right now. They were smiling, they were engaging with me. And I was proving the point, literally by saying, if you come to them with the story, you're going to get their attention. They're either going to relate to something that you said immediately and go, oh, I know, I've been through that, whatever the case is, because Kelly's posting pictures of freaking cute puppies. But point is that you get them, you get their attention. So if you know folks that need to work on their stories to build immediate rapport, get a quick laugh, get a quick knee-jerk reaction. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, sometimes it's perfect. Awkward is great, so embrace that. We can help people get to that point very quickly. Always have a pocket story, 1, 2, or 3. And I don't mean Grandpa or Uncle Bob, who they got a story for everything and it takes forever and they won't shut the hell up. It's not that type of thing. It's something that gets you to be seen and heard and listened to and remembered, and hopefully allows you a chance to earn the opportunity, be called back, make a sale, whatever. We can help you do that. We can help you have fun doing that. Regarding the tangent, I've actually kind of fallen off the podcast bandwagon myself. I haven't produced one in almost 2 years. I'm horribly embarrassed, but I'm reformatting mine to have a dedication series, stories about being a dad with 2 rambunctious kids, whatever. But at the same time, I've sort of been dabbling with other people's podcasts. 2 of my friends from PNA, Ryan Mills, he and his wife have come up with a podcast. I've listened to them. I can't recall the name off the top of my head, but another one that's interesting is called You're Buying a Home. And it's actually done by an ex-PNA member, Silas Lindenstein. He's also a well-known comedian in the Pacific Northwest, but he has built a country-wide network of other real estate agents. So people across the country and now the world have listened to his series of podcasts called You're Buying a Home with Silas Lindenstein. And they've been inspired to then go to their real estate agent, whatever, And I don't know how it's all done, but he's getting referral spiffs from people who go buy a house in BFE, but let that real estate agent know that they were inspired to go to he, she, or them based off of Silas's podcast. And he's making income in over 35 states right now. I'm like, what the hell? I keep telling him I'm up for adoption, but he doesn't bite. So it's actually, I don't like giving him too much credit, but these are really good podcasts. I'm never going to tell him that because his head will get huge, but they're really good podcasts. It's called You're Buying a Home with Silas Lindenstein, and it'll show up if you just type in the first part. So there's my answer. I'm sticking to it. Cool, huh? Okay. So Marcel, I am the speaker of the day. Can you handle the questions or whatever you want to do to introduce me? Because this is so.
Yes, Brian, please state your name, full name.
Brian Trendler.
How many years in business?
We've been in business 8 years, girl.
Gosh, crazy. And how about a seldom known personal fact?
Well, all the gray is because of children. And what's even more seldom known is this is it. This is all I can grow. There's like a little tiny dumb patch here. This comes in looking stupid. I don't have sideburns. I have like a little teeny tiny spot. That's it. I'm not pheasantly hairy. So people always ask, well, you just have a thing. And it's because it's all I got. And if I shave it off, I look like a 12-year-old boy with no chin. So this
Title of your presentation today?
Oh, a title. Oh, that would have been good. I'm reasonably prepared, but I don't have a title. It's about the Laugh Tech services, and let's just be honest, focuses on me. It focuses on the MC and auctioneer work. I want to take you folks through a few of the things that I do. Okay, sound great? You excited? Karen's asleep. Okay, good. She's writing. I'm going to start the timer, and Lilu is growling it like, stop growling.
Doodling.
You're doodling? Well, keep up the good work. You're doing a fine job. Okay. So what I wanted to do is just right off the bat, I love it how Marcel's camera's off now and Courtney left the room. Woohoo! I'm just kidding. I am good at clearing the room before I even
There
start.
was a screaming baby downstairs. I had to.
No problem. No problem. She's probably saying, why are my hair so big? Where's my hair? She's so cute. So lots of people don't understand the amount of work that an auctioneer does for an event. Does anybody have any idea? Have you ever worked with an auctioneer? Have you ever gone through the process? Anyone? Marcel has, or she's just heard.
So you don't just show up with a mic and do your little blah, 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 blah thing?
See, you're right. That's all I do. See, everyone says that, and I couldn't have planned it better because I just had one of those conversations the other day with the local high school, and they're like, why should we pay you anything? You just show up and read stuff. And I'm like, I don't think this is going to work out, but bye. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. So I love the fact that you said it that way, because this is a challenge. Okay. It's also hard to give a speech when the adorably cute child is stealing the scenes. Don't worry about it. Keep her up here. So I wanted to just kind of bring you guys, gals, everyone's a gal, through some of the stuff that I do. And I'm just going to do this and share this. Y'all can see this okay? Look at my messy desktop. This is called a terms and conditions agreement form. It's a very lengthy document, and I defy each of you to read this one page at a time. But the whole point of this is how much you're going to pay me. This is what I'm going to do for you. This is what happens if things go bad. This is how I'm going to dress. This is what's allowed, what isn't allowed. These are the miscellaneous terms. If things go bad, this is a document about mediation and arbitration. This is a scope of work. This is my signature. This is a binding document. Normally I'd have a ooh and an ah sound in the background. I have found that literally less than 20% of the auctioneers out there offer a document like this to protect their clients. That blows my mind. They're working with nonprofits, they're working with school districts, they're working with any organization raising funds for XYZ. And they're not building a protection document that protects the end user more than it protects me. I started doing this from the get-go because I believe in taking care of who I work with. So this means a lot to me. I'm not trying to do a pat me on the shoulder type of thing. I just want to show folks that it's important they know exactly what they're getting and really how much work I'm going to do for them, okay? This is a bit of a jump here, but I just wanted to show this document. This is my basically my media kit. I think some of you have probably seen this before, but I just wanted to highlight it really quickly. Obviously, there's my big face smiling, a couple samples of things that I've done, couple places, locations, smiley people. Everyone loves that. A little breakdown on why people hire me, and then the ever-growing list of places I've been able to do business in. I'm actually very proud of this. So I just want to showcase this for a second. I want to showcase it because these are places that either we've worked at or I've done MC or auctioneer stuff for. It's a bit ambiguous, for lack of better words, or not specific, but there's a huge range of stuff, businesses that we've done work with, I've done work with. I'm very proud of how big this roster is getting. And it's only going to get bigger because over the next 3 to 4 months, anyone following me online is going to see that I've got a bunch of other events coming. Most all of them are new, 1 or 2 returns like the Salvation Army. I love the fact that that one's coming just right around the corner, and they've got such big need, such big hearts behind the people running the organization. And it's just been an absolute honor to work with them, to be both the MC and the auctioneer. Okay, so I just want to showcase that. I'm not going to go ahead and showcase other things here, but that's my head in case they need that for marketing material. And then if the job hasn't been signed off yet, they get this so they can see that people do actually say nice things about me, which is always a plus if you're trying to get business. Who knows the difference or the value in having an MC also be the auctioneer? Let me just talk about that for a second. Anybody have any idea? Okay. The reason why is, and there's a science behind this, you can get up to a 40% loss of attention span from the audience if you change from an MC to an auctioneer. Not me magically changing, dropping a tie or something, but if another person comes up and they're like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and be the auctioneer now, you lose the trust of the audience. Occasionally, they feel that they have to get to know that new person on stage now versus I've already been laughing. I've already been having a fun time. I've already done a dessert dash. I've done this. I've done that. I've done the heads or tails, all that type of stuff. The auctioneer has a specific, obviously, purpose to, yes, Kelly, talk fast, go through things. Ideally, in my case, make people laugh so money falls out. But if there's that break, if I go sit down and they see me sit down and go, whoo, and open up a soda or whatever, and then some complete stranger goes up, and you're expected to trust that person has your best interest in mind and they want, or the organization's best interest in mind, it doesn't always happen. So most often when I can, and I pitch myself this way, I want both roles. And that really is the sole reason. I want it to be as smooth as possible from start to finish. And the audience is already used to me. They're already laughing at my dumb jokes and my quips or the tone of my voice or the pace that I'm taking them through. I go directly into the auction at that point. It's smooth, it's an easy transition. And like I said, they're not changing the attention, or they're not having to avert or change their attention to another person, okay? Next up, another quick share. I want to show you this document. This comes from quite often, weeks of work with the client. Sometimes they know exactly what they're doing. They have historical data. They have previous programs they've used with other events. They bring that to me, and then we start to just kind of cut and paste and move stuff around. But from those conversations comes a program flow document that I create. Now, I'm a geek. I use a tablet, which I forgot to bring for this. It's called the Remarkable. It's an e-ink tablet. It's like micro thin. I hold it like a piece of paper, but it's stiff like a tablet. but the e-ink surface can be seen perfectly clear in blinding light outside in sunlight or a dimly lit stage. Sorry about the puppy in the background. So what happens is I use that document, I import in this file in PDF form. I can bring it up on the Remarkable tablet, and then I can just swipe back and forth with my finger to go from page to page, or use a little cool pen, an e-ink pen, and scratch off stuff as I go so I don't unintentionally read what I've already read, for lack of better words. So it's a neat functional tablet. The whole point of this, though, is that this can take a lot of work. So we're talking about when the doors open, when things like the silent auction, notes for me, work those tables, walk around the room with the wireless mic. And if there's an item that hasn't been bid on, I'll say something silly. I'll hold it up and say, this is a dog walking package for your dog. Who's got a schnauzer? Schnauzers suck, whatever the case is. Come over here and, you know, bid on this item. Always work the silent auction items at tables, give them some love to make sure that everything has at least minimal one bid on it, right? Trivia game, get sales. Sometimes I have help, sometimes I don't have help. Other ways that they're generating money, a karaoke sign up for the end of the evening. I have my close times for the tables clearly marked, so I know exactly when to give people warnings that table number 1 is going to close at 6 p.m. I'm not saying that at 6 p.m. I'm saying that about 5:45. So obviously I go backwards with the clock in my head. And then it's just simple things here. Obviously this is self-explanatory, but people just think I show up and this is given to me. No, it takes a lot of time, a lot of edits, a lot of changes. And occasionally it's more than one page, but still raise the paddle, fund the need. I know exactly where to start at. Another page has a story behind each of these dollar signs. What does $1,000 get the organization? In this particular case, they were looking for a bus. They had to get a bus to get their students from A to Z, right? Well, that bus cost $10,000. So at the $1,000 level, I'm not asking for $10,000. I'm asking for X amount of people. Are you willing to put your paddle up? $1,000, you're good for the night, but think about it. $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, we have those bids start to add up. I'm doing tallying in my head, and suddenly I'm getting people stoked that they're getting closer to funding that vehicle, right? Because everyone's putting forward $1,000. I'm asking for 10 people, or hey, due to gas prices, I'm asking for 12 people to hold up $1,000. Whatever the case is, I always make a little wisecrack. People laugh. They want to get on that train, or in this case, that bus, that emotional wagon, right? They're raising the paddle makes a difference. And then just really quickly, want to go through this. Again, there's normally a slideshow behind me or somewhere showing the document or showing each one of these bid items. It's really key to understand that I need to know the value of every single item. Historically, it's roughly 40% off of list price, the actual retail value. 40% off is where normally I start the bidding at, unless there's an absolute minimum dollar amount that we need to achieve before that item is, you know, given away, for lack of better words. But if the text is behind me, I abbreviate stuff. I have short little things. I wasn't going to read any of this stuff on the screen if the slide deck was working. In this particular instance, the slide deck kept going down. So I'm very glad that I had the actual details here. So on 4 or 5 of the slides, when there was a hiccup, it didn't happen. I was able to read this stuff off, so everyone made sure that they knew exactly what they were bidding on. And then this just goes down the page with all of the items that were on it. Simple things like this: do a break for the dessert dash, raise the paddle. That's when I go back to the first page, so I have the dollar signs. And I just wanted to showcase that so you guys can see what that's like. Last but not least, I've already lost track of my own time. I'm at 11 minutes. I'm going to play just a quick short. And it's going to be, it's difficult to film stuff at events unless I have a professional videographer with me, even with the mic setup, because it's like herding cats at these events. The fun ones, the boring ones, the horrific ones, the great ones, they're all the same. Bless their hearts, but people are absolutely loud. And I love it, but it can also be very frustrating. So hopefully you all can hear this. I'm about 80% through the video. I wanted to start on the auctioneering portion. Someone give me a quick nod when I hit play so I know that you can hear this.
auctioneer and MC
Can you hear
for
it?
any fundraising
Okay.
event, look no further. Specializing in crowd work, laughter, and happy bidders will help you maximize your results with LaughTech.
400. Okay, we're still at 400. Can I get 425? Come on, I think that's like $25 more than 400, right? So 425. Do I have 425? Anybody here for 425? Anybody? Okay, 400 going once. 400 going twice. Oh, 425. Everybody, we have 425. We have 450. 70. Okay, we have 450. Number 70. Can we get to $500? $500. Oh my God, okay. We have $500.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope you'll contact us today so we can laugh with you soon.
Okay. So that's just a really brief shot. Again, it's really difficult to record live events because there's so much chaos. And I recently did one, Edmonds School District. We blew their minimum, their requested dollar amount away, their actual goal. I got a couple great testimonials up on LinkedIn. Sorry, not LinkedIn, on Instagram. I'll try to get that in the chat window so you can go look at the history and see some of those. I'm getting better at literally grabbing like the appropriate point of contact, tossing them against the wall at the end of the event and just saying, give me a quick 90-second testimonial. So I've been getting those, but getting the actual live video footage is a bit difficult. My ask for everybody is I'm going to put at least 1 or 2 links in the chat window. If you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel for LaughTech, I would love it. I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe. We have kind of a paltry number of 50 subscribers. We've helped over 600 people over the last 8 years, and we just don't have those numbers, but we're in the process of building out more on that particular YouTube channel. Any additional subscription is helpful, but if you all know of organizations, and Karen, I will travel, okay? Just FYI, I will definitely travel. I'll even lower my damn price so I can travel, whatever the case is. But I want to be introduced to existing organizations that are already doing these programs, these fundraisers, and also kind of not to step on toes, but to offer people an alternative. There are many organizations that have used the same person for many, many, many years. If they're happy, great. I'm not going to step on toes. If that person can't do it, I'd love to be, you know, second or third on the proverbial call list. At the same time, I've replaced people like John Curley before. That makes me very happy. I don't want to do that really realistically, but my point is that sometimes the organization is ready for a change. So I'd love to be that person that would be considered. The other thing is, and I'll be completely honest with you, I'm happy to number drop. The most I ever charged for an event, and this is normally about 4 hours worth of the event, plus about 10 to 20 hours prior to the event, planning, meetings, discussions, going there, physical run through, the whole 9 yards. And then afterwards, meeting a few weeks later to talk about the event, what could be better, what was great, how can it be improved upon, etc. The most I've ever charged is $3,000. And that includes my entire speak up setup and wireless stuff. Now, if all of that's there, okay, $2,000 to $2,500. That's it. Now that sounds like a lot of money. Maybe it doesn't. But if you think about it, that's maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 max sponsors that organization is already going after to take care of my cost. Some folks out there, ones that have been doing this for 30 some odd years, charge up to 8%, up to 10% of the organization's profit or return at the end of the night. So recently, one of the folks in my network made $2.5 million for the organization. One night, 2-hour event, $2.5 million. Had he done a percentage, I can't do the math, he'd have made a lot of freaking money, right? I never want to be that person. Never. I know that sounds silly, but I don't. I want to get the referral. I want to get, I want my name sent out to other people because they loved working with me. I want to get the call back to come next year. I'd rather make $2,500 4 or 5 times a quarter, if not more, That's life-changing for me and my family. So that's how I want to be. I want to keep the money with the organization as much as possible. And within reason, I can be flexible too. And with that being said, and I'm actually almost out of time, I signed up with BizX. Marcel and I, forgive me, signed up with BizX for Laugh Tech services. If you didn't know, you can get training from us, 2-on-1 engagement sessions through BizX. That's the exchange of digital currency. It's not crypto. I don't have to buy something from Kelly in order for her to buy something from me. It's not a what's that called? A tit for tat. It's not an exact exchange. It's using the digital currency that builds up in your account. For my auction services and MC auction services, you can actually spend $1,000 of BizX and only pay me $1,500. So you're still paying $2,500, but you as a foundation XYZ that has stresses and worries about how much money you're spending and where can you curve costs, hire me through BizX. Pay $1,000 digital currency, the rest in cash. Then on the books, you're only spending $1,500 to get everything that I do. I love doing that. I want to do that. So that's an idea on how you can also introduce me to your communities, that you can hire me off of BizX. So there we go. I'm going to open it up for questions. And Marcel, if you can run that, and then I'll bring up the speech breakout thing whenever you tell me to, okay?
Excellent job, Brian. Well done.
Thanks.
Any questions for Brian about, in general, what an MC does, or his hair, or anything you want to ask him?
I put your doodle in the chat. You can look at it.
Nice.
Oh, bring it up on the screen, Brian.
I don't see it. Karen, I don't see anything.
Brian, what are like 3 of the names of the people you end up either supporting or being advised to, or like who are the 3 team members
Keep talking.
at a auction event that you end up having to like juggle or handle?
Puppy had a paperclip, sorry. Okay, so sorry, 3 people that I end up working with predominantly?
Yeah.
So it's normally the event coordinator, okay? If it's like a nonprofit or even like a school, it's going to be someone in HR. Normally it's like Tim, Bob, Jane, or Randy, who's just suddenly had a ginormous pile of things put on their desk and they're not happy about it. So, you know, they're going through historical data from a paper perspective to put this thing on. If it's a PTA or booster, there's simply an assigned person. So someone from the PTA, a board member, and they're the ones raising, you know, stuff for the sports or the art clubs and things along those lines, or the school in general, because many schools have lost so much funding because so many kids didn't come back to school after the pandemic. They're staying home. So schools are losing funding for general practices, everything that the school needs money from the state. They're not getting it. So they're having to turn to fundraising.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Also, another question, what's something we could say at like, I don't know, a dinner party or a luncheon where we're just, you know, there's that dull in the conversation and we're like, what do I say? Like, what's a thoughtful question we could just ask a brand new business person we meet out and about that would open up the dialogue to talk about you?
It's a really great question. It's not a common thing. It's not, I mean, you're not going to just randomly say, hey, I know a great auctioneer that can replace someone that you know, right? Although if you want to, let me know if that works, because that'd be great. Asking people, how do they network, which is key, because you'll find out that they're part of chambers, they're part of rotaries, all of which do auctions. They're part of nonprofits. They're a board on X amount of, you know, seats of NPOs, nonprofit organizations. Most often people will come out with that, and then you can just say, hey, just on the off chance, any one of these organizations, if you're ever interested in looking at a new auctioneer, a guy that has funny hair and can do both the MC and auctioneer job to save you money, can I set up an introduction? So that's helpful.
Cool.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Brian before he brings up the speech breakout for me?
How many different colored suits do you have?
I love that you asked that. So I straight up just had 2. Both black, both slick, but different type of lapel and collar design. And I started feeling kind of lame, like, you know, like prom date lame. I guess that was my prom experience. So I have a red one and I have a blue one, and it's kind of a sheeny. I just lost the term for it, but like the paisley, is that right?
Paisley, yeah.
Paisley
It's like
shade. So it's like
metallic.
the totally crazy paisley, shiny, sheeny goodness. And of the same style, I'm ordering a green one and a purple one because they're sexy as hell. I don't know why I said that. This is being recorded, crap. But because I'm doing a lot of work with schools, just with those 4 colors, I pretty much cover the gambit. And then I have like the full rainbow supply of ties. So most of them work with silver or black or green or yellow or purple or whatever. So
Good question, Kelly.
yeah, it's a great question.
My other question is, are you willing to color coordinate your outfit to the event?
It helps. So
Okay.
absolutely, yes. Yeah.
I just wanted to ask questions.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
He even went out and bought a Hawaiian shirt once because they said
I did.
we're not suit tie people. We're like luau people.
Yep. And I was like, what the hell am I going to find a Hawaiian shirt? And then I was like, Target, totally go to Target. And sure enough, there's a whole section of you can look like an idiot for $10.99. I'm like, all right. I literally did. It was like a $15.
Hey, I'm in
shirt.
a Hawaiian shirt. Now be nice. Well, it's
But
fine.
I don't wear Hawaiian shirts, so
I know.
I felt stupid, but it was perfect.
You're
For
funny.
Yeah.
Awesome. Show the screen, Brian. Or the
Well, first of all, I need to share this. This is way more important.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wait, everybody, I gotta screenshot that.
That is so awesome, Karen. Oh
I
my,
should have colored it red or blue or something to suit.
that makes me
Bust out
so
your
happy.
colors.
That's brilliant. Okay. Now, the funniest thing about that, and let me bring up one of those other documents just really, really quickly. Oh, Dad, burn it. Where is it? Jeez Louise.
Burn it. All right, Carl.
Burn it, fudgy dumpy. It was darn kids. I can't find it for crying out loud. My logo is designed specifically to market me, and it's remarkable how much or how often people have come up to me and they're like, dude, your logo, it kind of looks like you. And I'm like, duh, okay. It is on purpose, and I'm killing the mood here. I can't find it. Here we go. Hold on.
So do you have business cards just for auctioneering?
I do, and that wasn't planned at all, was it?
I knew the answer to that because I
Very,
just
very
gave you
good.
away.
I'm just trying to find it now. This is
I'm falling for you, buddy.
I'm killing the speed here. Business cards. Yes, I do. Yeah, I'm going to bring this up real quick. Excuse the crop marks. This was the one that went to the shop, but yeah, this is done. Thank you, screen. It's in the way. I can't zoom if it's letting it get in the way. I do hate Zoom, folks.
Yeah, look at that picture. It looks like Karen's drawing.
Yeah, so Karen, your drawing was like kick butt because that's my logo. And people were like, you've got the same hair. I'm like, duh, like how do you oh no joke, moron.
You're like, that's my brand.
But yeah, Brian. Oh, and then other person was like, you misspelled it. Where's the T? I'm like, there's your sign. Right. So you just can't fix them all, right? There you go. But Karen, your drawing is better. I'm going to incorporate that onto my next logo version. I'm just gonna drop yours in. That's fantastic. Okay, so let's bring up the speech breakout, and that allows me to stop talking, and Marcel can take us through it.
All right, guys.
I like that flyer that you shared. Sorry, during the presentation.
Oh yeah.
Because it showed like exactly, you know, all the things that you do. I'd like to have that.
I happily will send that to everyone if you all want.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, all great speakers should have a press kit or a speaker sheet, and Brian definitely does. So, okay, target market. Who are the people in our businesses that would need his services? Pop
Me.
quiz. Kelly, we want to raise money.
Yeah, I was gonna say nonprofits. So
Mhm.
Shout out to Brian who did you did the emceeing for Muckatiel School Foundation, right?
I did. And at the last minute, they threw in some auction stuff. And I'm like, what the hell?
Nice.
I'd love to come back for that. So, yeah.
Well, and also, like the city of Mill Creek recently, they hired you to do just to facilitate a political conversation, even, right? So it's
Yeah.
people like that just they may not have an extrovert on their team, and they need somebody dynamic to make something dull interesting. You can actually be that type of entertainer, facilitator. Okay, let's see what's next here. What sorts of resources should we be out there looking for so he can collaborate with? Any thoughts?
I found this on the web.
Oh, shut up, Sherry. Sorry. Anybody know ideal collaborative ideas for Brian?
Can you explain that? Sorry, a little bit more.
So, like, I would say like a wedding planner, a flat florist, a DJ, a conference center, event coordinator, like
a hotel.
Yeah, like who are those people that would be good power partners for Brian?
Yeah, there's definitely the Linwood Chamber, they do their lunches at the Embassy Suites, and I know that there's like the contact who does like events at hotels and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
I just thought of two like all-in-one businesses. So someone that I work with for my nonprofit is called My Business Champion, and they have a fundraiser person that like has those contacts, and there's lots of those company like all-in-one companies out there that like have a contact for everything. So maybe syncing up with them.
Excellent.
Well, back in the day, before we went remote, a lot of big companies like USAA and that type of stuff have an event coordinator, and they do events for their company, but they look for stuff like this.
Yep. This past year, I did a 3-day event for PAMES, PAMES. I can't even think of what it stands for, but it's basically the medical side of the industry with CPAP machines and all this type of stuff, but tons of things happening with the industry and trainings and certifications that needed to happen for 3 days. But I emceed the whole thing, did the entertainment that night with their hired DJ, a bunch of silly games and whatnot, but also did some of our Laugh Tech improv stuff in between some of the sessions to get people to kind of lighten up, because it was some really heavy stuff. So that's a big event, and it's pricey, but it's also pricey to have those things go wrong.
Yes, any event where they might have boring content.
Yeah.
Bring some Brian Trendler in the middle. Okay, how about beneficial syndications or blog ideas, video ideas, podcasts, and or feedback for the presentation? Anybody?
Sorry, I thought it was a really good presentation to highlight that other part of your like business that you want that you're definitely seeking right now. And all of us, know a nonprofit or like it was just a good presentation to help us see that part of what you do.
Thank you, Corey.
Do you do blogs or anything on your website about it stuff?
I do not blog. Marcel, I think, still hates me because I do not blog.
I blog on Dreamosity, and we haven't quite made it happen yet on Laugh Tech, so it's on the horizon because it'd be really good for us.
Very far horizon.
Yeah. Brian, I do think a good real idea for you would be for you to talk about, you said earlier in your talk, only took about a minute, but you were explaining that I can't remember what you were saying, but we were like, oh, we didn't know that, and I was like, that would make a great reel that we could then share for you. Shoot, I'm trying to remember what you said.
No idea. Must have
been. I might have to look at the recording, but sometimes when you have those like frequently asked questions or like obvious things, it's obvious to you because you're in the game, but to the average, PTA mom, she has no idea, right? So we've got to empower and inform and educate them. But there was something you said that would make a great reel. I'll have to think through it later.
Okay.
Let's see, what else do we got here? Any other feedback for Brian or ideas? Feedback there?
I thought it was really awesome. I learned a lot. I had a question though. Do you have any sort of I want to say like a pretty color 3 or 4 page proposal that one's like, hey, I want auctioneer services, that you could put this information in and like hand it over, like, because
So
this is all the stuff that goes into it, type of a thing.
not at that level. The media kit that I showed you today is what I've been using, and for lack of better words, has been all I've needed. But I could easily add a page or two that says what it incorporates, like what it involves. Hiring me gets you or gets me for XYZ. So I could add that.
Yeah, for someone like me, I hate reading a bunch of stuff, but if you sent me a flyer with like, hold on 1 second.
Hi, Karen. Yeah, she's basically saying send a pretty flyer that's easy.
Yeah,
Yeah, so just something that like with all, because like I said, when you first started, I was like, you don't just show up and blah 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 into the mic and that's it. Like, but put the crowd engaging and like the statistics of having the same person and just like a quick one sheet that people can like,
yeah.
oh, this is what it is.
Well, I love the design side of everything I do. As you know, that's one of my other jobs. I can create something that's icon driven, and that's sexier, for lack of better words, than a crap ton of text, right? So I can easily
Just pretty and eye catching.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. It's a great idea.
Yeah, that's what Kelly said was what I was like, that should be a reel.
Yeah.
On why you should hire you to do both. That'd be a great little commercial. Okay, moving on. Are there any other categories that we need to get in this digital PNA community that we can think of, Courtney and Kelly, of people that were like, we need a videographer, we need a, I don't know, an event coordinator.
Yes and yes.
I mean, yes to those things.
Yeah.
Didn't we have a video person come as a guest?
Yeah, Kelly, your friend came once, but she hasn't been back.
Oh, probably because she's busy and her
Yeah.
bank account got hacked for the 3rd time.
Mm.
And she's stuck in Canada for
No.
I don't know if she made it back yet.
That's
I
weird.
feel so bad for them because they are the sweetest people you will ever work with, and they have the worst luck. Like worst luck ever. Like they've had stuff stolen and damaged, and it's just they cannot catch a break. Like as soon as they have money in the account, they're like something happens.
I should send them my podcast that I'm listening to because it's all about rewriting that story of bad luck.
Yeah.
Right? Like for me, bad health. It's like, well, how could I have good health? Or how could I have good money sitting in the account?
I would change banks. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Interesting. I know I'm not supposed to talk here, but a copy editor, copywriter would be great.
Yeah.
Just thinking a little outside of the box that would help everybody, but also maybe help refine some of my messaging, some of my posts.
Yeah, I think a personal stylist would be good too, because their whole database is of like influential people that are getting on stages and maybe doing fundraising speeches or whatnot. Maybe it's a stretch, but
I like the idea, but I think it's a little bit of a stretch. I think more, we already said event coordinator or event planner type person, even specific things, a wedding planner, you know, because I'm an officiant as well. I can also be the MC during the evening parts of the wedding, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know what this would be called, but like the people that like brand you, like personal branders. Like you see them in movies. They're the ones that like walk around and they're like, you're going to say this at this meeting and you're going to wear this and you need to change your image on this and don't say that. Like a publicist almost.
Isn't that what Lynette does?
Sort of. She primarily, yes and no. She primarily connects you with media outlets and sources, and then helps you with your media kit to, you know, then be on podcasts, on broadcasts, et cetera.
Maybe I need to
Okay.
move to that because I really like the behind the scenes thing, but I don't like to be out in front. I'm going to tell you what you need to do to be awesome, and you go out there and do it.
It's
And
a
Brian, just so you know, Dreamosity does offer copywriting services. I know that's not my main thing, but I've written a lot for a lot of people in my time. I'm not the crazy price point of a true specialist, but if you need help writing stuff, I can help with that.
I appreciate that.
Throw my name out there, trying to earn some
Yep.
money.
Oh, I sent you a message, Marcel, about hiring you to help me with the social media stuff for all the nonprofits.
Oh my goodness, I would love to help
You haven't seen it, and I saw everything that you have going around, so I didn't want to message you too much. And I wish
Okay.
I could afford to go to your dinner, but I don't have a penny to my name at the moment.
No, I get it. I will definitely help you. Let's talk because
Yeah.
I know the conservative side of your brand story very well from my last, political gig, but I also
But
know
even
the
just making sure
consumer.
like the pages are set up correctly, and like I don't know
Yeah.
if everything's messed up.
Okay, let's talk.
Yeah. And then Brian, my other question for you is, do you have with your emceeing a how did you put this? Like a part that would help with fundraising? Like specifically like either getting items or getting people to sponsor events, or I don't know what that person would be called. Maybe that would be the event coordinator.
That tends to be an event coordinator. I mean, I don't necessarily have those types of people in my network. It's often someone that's part of the organization that just has experience.
Yeah.
And the oddest thing is that that's what I'm finding more and more, especially with high schools or middle schools. With the pandemic, that's basically 2 years of where parents who did have the experience, did have the know-how, they aged out of the system. So by the time we all got back to school, our kids finally got shoved back into classrooms, those parents are gone. And the data and history with them and experience is gone too, because these schools are dumb and they don't record or document any of these processes. So I've had to help a lot of them. I definitely should have charged more, right? Just on the basics of what you need to do, how you need to do it, what can you do, go pound the pavement, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can do that, but there's no real way of making it sound nice.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I mean, yes, I can be all happy-go-lucky, but it's really unfortunate what these parents are going through, for example. So
It's like you need a donation traffic controller, like who, like even with my fundraiser coming up, it's like what, like there's a lot of people, but who's leading that, right? You need
Crystal's leading it.
yeah, I know Crystal is for us, but like that's not her job, right? Like but a
Yeah.
good fundraiser needs that role, that traffic controller.
Yeah. So, okay,
Well, we will
everybody.
find people that are experts. So
Thanks for everyone's feedback and questions and stuff and things.
Yeah.
I'm watching my dog eat things now. Let's go ahead. I just lost my other screen. Super awesome. Oh,
referrals and testimonials
yeah, I'm trying to get there.
or events. I think it's just referrals and testimonials.
Again, trying to get there. Yes, referrals or testimonials. I'm not going to bother sharing the screen. Does anybody have a referral or testimonial?
I have a referral for you and Marcel for Laugh Tech. I have 2 of my officer friends that just took over 2 different departments, and I want you, I don't know how to explain to them what you can do to boost morale and that stuff, but officers are leaving and they're transferring and something's going on. So I would love maybe just a quick 1 sheet from you guys on what you would present to them so I can hand it out to the people in these positions. And then I was actually on your website. I'm sending it to him right now. He's going to be the new chief of Snohomish.
Okay.
And I was like, this is my friend's company. You need to hire them because stuff sucks there.
Yeah.
And, but just what you can offer them.
Let me speak to that real quick. We were in the process of getting in business bed with the Mill Creek Police Department. Greg Elwin at that point was the police chief. I say that really quickly because it's always politics, Kelly. It's always politics, and it's also an SHIT storm that rolls downhill quickly with the police stations. I learned so much from speaking to Greg about this sort of thing. we were going to come in and we were going to do rants and raves. I don't recall if you've experienced that, but it's an improvisational exercise where people literally swear on a Laugh Tech program, or even a Bible, or even an HR document that says whatever happens in Laugh Tech stays in Laugh Tech, will not be used against us during quarterly reviews. And everyone laughs and everyone's uncomfortable. But the rant and rave exercise is literally talk about anything you want to, negative, for roughly 60 seconds. And then when I or Marcel, we snap our fingers and everyone in the room snaps simultaneously. So we make it an engaging exercise, kind of fun, kind of uncomfortable, kind of random. Then they go positive. They go from a rant to a rave. So it's not totally separate. It can be, but it's often, oh, and Chief Joe Smith, and he's such an a-hole, and blah, blah, blah. These things go wrong, and I'm always on this, and I'm always on that, and I'm always often doing foot duty or directing traffic or whatever, and I'm so mad. And then they snap. But Chief Joe Bob or whatever is the most positive person. And even though I come to the workplace with a crappy mood and I'm tired and I work so many hours and I haven't seen my kids forever, he's the first person that shows up each day and the last person that leaves. And I don't know if you witnessed what just happened there, but they go from bitching into actually kind of sort of complimenting the chief doing his or her job, whatever the case is. And HR or the chief or other high ups are in the background going, holy crap, there's a problem here. Or here's something that we need to address, right? Maybe it's a roster shifts, maybe it's whatever those types of things are. So that's what we were prepping for the police department. We didn't get to have it happen because remember what I said about the SHIT thing that rolled downhill? Greg ended up getting let go because the then mayor of Mill Creek didn't like him and started doing his thing to slowly but surely usurp Greg's position. So there's always something there that shouldn't be happening, but if people are willing to bring us in, we create a safe environment where people understand that you've got to talk about these things. So rants and raves is a great exercise, as well as curveball. And we also have a couple of stacking technique exercises that we can implement. So yes, I can create a document like that, but we didn't have one. It was mainly a proposal.
Yeah, and we have dozens of improv techniques, Kelly. Part of our job is to go and find out what's wrong and then craft an experience that will help them have a positive and humorous time, right? So it's never just a lecture where we teach them from a book, you know, like it's always going to be engaging, but we kind of need to find out what are some of the current issues too. But we have our go-to favorites like rants and raves.
Yeah. So we should probably have another conversation offline about that, really, because Marcel's absolutely right. We can blindly throw stuff at the wall until the cows come home or the patrol cars come home. We should really get someone on the horn that's involved in this with you and try to uncover some of these areas of improvement, shall we say. Cops like hearing areas of improvement. Nothing's wrong, but there's areas.
Yeah, I just have a problem like talking you guys up and then even going to your webpage and sending the webpage. He's like, what is this? And I was like, well, they do morale boosting and connect you guys and get rid of the bullshit and make everybody laugh. You know, like I don't know how to present it. And so even reading the page, I'm like, I don't know. I'll ask them questions and I'll send you a message in a minute. I'm in a meeting.
I love it.
Thank you, Kelly.
Well, yeah, thank you for helping support us, and we'll figure out a way to sound sexier for them.
Hey, and Courtney, I want to send you myself. I need to I have such weird financial challenges at the moment, but I want an overview of all the things I have because I do have some retirement things. I do have an IUL. I don't know how.
Okay.
Well, I have questions. But do you do like a paid session of like, not necessarily just sell me something, but like help me make sense of the things I do have and then sell me something?
I do that for free.
Okay. Awesome.
So I would happily look at an illustration of your current IUL because those are policies that can if you don't take care of them the right way and you weren't sold the right product, the person who was selling it didn't really know what they were doing either. It could go bad for you. So I would like to see what it looks like.
I
would do that for free. I don't charge for that.
Okay. And then my overall financial strategy you would look at because obviously right now I'm in a medical funk, but I know I'll bounce back. So it's just might as well do some learning on the side, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Figure out how I'm gonna rebuild.
Just send me a text or email or whatever you want, and then we'll figure something out.
Good, thank you.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
ask questions. I do.
Yeah.
I'm a student of the game. Oh, and then Brian, I gave Betty your business cards the other day at my florist. She
Oh,
does
yeah.
all these weddings and stuff. Brian also does
She's awesome.
weddings, so I'm trying to get her to recommend you to all these brides.
She is awesome.
You know, I should probably give them Courtney's number too, so they can all get a financial plan before they marry Mr. or Mrs.
Oh, those are my
who knows
favorite.
what.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, absolutely.
Are you a DJ too, or just an MC?
I do not do the DJ work. I have a guy that I can bring in. He's
I was gonna get you involved with my brother-in-law because he does MC and DJ and stuff.
I'd like someone closer than Wayne. Wayne is down in southern Quebec, so he's really far away.
Everything is Quebec.
Everything
I
is
don't know,
Quebec.
is it south or north or
No.
east?
It makes people laugh, so it works.
Yeah.
No, he's like an hour and a half away, so I'd like someone closer. So yeah, Kelly, introduce me and I can refer him. And you know, he potentially could refer me into places that he's working. So
Yeah.
fantastic. Does he have a legit business, for lack of better words, or is
Oh
he
yeah, he doesn't even need to market. He's usually booked out a year in advance.
great problem to have? That's awesome.
All word of mouth. Like I was like, let me do a social media page. He's like, I don't think I need one. Like
Yeah.
he's seriously booked every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday during the summer. And
That's awesome. Well, that obviously says that he knows his stuff too, which is key, because there's a lot of them out there that are just like, I bought this kit for $100 and I work out of my garage. Ugh,
yeah.
can't
Well,
stand
he
it.
helped me put my wedding songs together. So it was all the DJ had to do was play what was in the folder at the right time.
Love that.
Like, and just his creativity behind even songs during proper times was just
Yeah.
awesome. So
That's great. That's really good. Yeah, I mean, even good DJs that can do game music, like if I'm doing musical chairs or like the treasure hunt type of fun exercise at night with crazy drunk people at some corporate event, you have to have like the silly sounds and the explosion.
Oh, yeah.
All that type of stuff. And good ones know how to do that. And they program it into their master control switch and they can just bang it out. So love that. Okay, so let's move on to announcements. I'll just share screen one last time here because I like putting this up on the wall. This Friday, y'all are close enough. You can come if you want to. Our typical improv evening. It's a not typical improv evening, comedy night. A little bit of improv at the end that Marcel normally runs if she's feeling up to it. Last month I did it because she wasn't, and we'll see what happens this time around. Typical event, fun, but I'm more focused on this one on the bottom. I think you both know I've been planning this with, actually I've told Marcel to leave me alone. I've been doing this with Crystal, her husband Bobby. They're both Snohomish PNA members. And then down here in the corner, the bottom right, you can see her picture sort of, Kate Carlson for the evening show. She's the comedian we had last month on stage, and she had approached me the same time Crystal approached me and said, we should do something for Marcel, while I was planning on approaching Crystal saying, can you help me do something for Marcel? So all three of us got together, put our heads together. We're doing 6 months worth of work in less than 30 days. So it's absolutely freaking nuts. We are still looking for sponsors, which gives you 2 tickets to the show and puts you on the poster and stuff at the table and all that from a business perspective, or we're honestly looking for ticket sales. So I can put these in an email, or just you can take a screenshot if you want to do. I don't care, whatever's easier. We're just hoping as many people as possible can come to either one of the comedy shows and just go for that, because just the purchase of the ticket is a donation, because it goes right to Marcel. Doesn't go to anyone else.
Kelly, if we could get a ton of officers there, that'd be amazing. Or, you know, Courtney, like you're.
Can I sponsor, because I'm not gonna be here. I'm gonna be in South Carolina. I'm not gonna be able to go, but like I would love to sponsor and like give my tickets to somebody, because I don't want to take up tickets. Obviously, if I'm not gonna be able to go.
Sure. So the short answer is, my gosh, yes, of course you can sponsor.
I knew you would say no.
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
like, what does that look like?
it looks like your beautiful face. No, it's $500. It gets you tickets, 2 of them, which you can of course give away. It gives you, sorry, my brain is suddenly freezing. It gives you a social media shout on a gratitude post, gets you on the poster on the at the event, on the banner at the event. And then if you have any swag or something, or flyers and business cards that you can get me beforehand, obviously Linwood PNA, hello.
I'm gonna try to be there on Tuesday. Yeah.
Cool. So I could get all of that from you and basically put it at one of the tables. The tables at the Snohomish Senior Center are 8x3, straight tables. They're not rounds. So it's kind of weird to be like sponsored tables, but not having it table-like. It's more like auditorium-like, but it's still a cool venue and people are just kind of taking over the spot. So you're not like buying 10 seats. You're buying the advertising, the exposure, a shout out on the website as well. Like I said, social media, the event itself, and then at the event, you'll get lots of street cred.
Do you have this on a flyer?
In my unwavering gratitude and
Yeah.
it's weird being here. Like,
Do you have all that on a flyer?
Yeah, I can actually stick it in the window here.
Yeah, because I'll put it in my Back the Blue group.
Oh, cool. You ladies are so awesome.
And on my pages. I don't know. Yeah, on my page.
All right, so someone talking, I'll find stuff. No.
Do.
You're horrible.
Kelly, I was gonna say what's interesting about this fundraiser is literally they're doing 6 months of work in like 30 days. And like it's weird being the person because normally it's
The
like
recipient.
yeah, it's very uncomfortably fabulous. Like I'm so grateful, but I'm also like I don't see myself as a charity case, but to realize like how much this last 2 years has been challenging, and now to have another surgery to prepare for it, like it's just anyway. My point is, look at what they're doing from a product development perspective, because again, we didn't have a vision 30 days ago, and 15 days ago, like the need was identified, people sprung into action. They're developing this kind of improv, but everybody they're asking for, levels, and some people are just coming to the event, some people are donating, personally to me, and some are becoming the sponsors, right? But this was all created from their imagination in the last 2 weeks. And I know with your nonprofit, a lot of it's like, well, what can I do? And sometimes you don't have the full picture, like, it's not a 20-year company, right? You're just building as you go. And I feel like this is a great example of people when there's a need, like creativity and ingenuity, is that the right word?
Yes.
Like people figure it out, especially if they're talented like Brian, because Brian's done so many big ones that he's able to do kind of a smaller one, right? And hopefully it's not small, but like it's not a football room size, like it's not huge.
Well, and Courtney, don't you get to get half of it reimbursed from your kick-ass company?
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
Someone to reimburse me for my efforts.
Yeah, no, Kelly, and I'm amazed at the people who are willing to do 500, because in my head I'm like, I would never do that for a friend, but some people can and will, right? Like,
yeah.
Like I mean, with my current financial situation, I couldn't. Like maybe in 2 years it'll all be different, but just because we're having a hard time, it doesn't mean other people are. And I think that's what's beautiful, is there's a lot of generous souls out there that if you're willing to put something together, you can raise a lot of money quickly for a cause.
Yeah.
Whether that's a person or, a city or a puppy or cancer research, whatever.
Puppies.
It's all important, but
So
I just think it's cool to see it all come together. Sorry, go ahead, Brian.
No, it's fine. For both you ladies asking for this stuff, I put 2 versions in the chat window. One is the one that I created that has both the ticket information for regular people showing up, whatever, the day show or the night show. And then the other one is one created by Crystal's assistant over at the Snohomish Schultz Financial Planning. They created their own standalone for sponsorships. So, yeah. And Courtney will gladly take your money. I mean, take your sponsor. And
Yeah.
I would totally get all the stuff set up and ready to go. I'm going to print with stuff like Tuesday of next week. So I mean, we're on a timeline. This thing's less than 2 weeks away now. And the funny thing, just so you all know, I'd like a moment of pity. I'm going to go over to Chelan on Saturday morning to go do an auctioneer for Northern Christian School. It's their first auction ever. They have like a $100,000 goal. Apparently there's a lot of money in Chelan. I don't know. I have been there twice.
Yeah, I just drove through there the other
Yeah,
day.
yeah. So I'm going to go do that. It's from 5 to 9 p.m. I'm going to be hopefully in bed by 10, sleep at the hotel at some wine vineyard place, leave at 4 a.m. to get back on the road, to come back over the mountains, come back here, sleep for hopefully like 2 hours before I have to be up and at 'em and ready to be at your thing, Marcel, on the 27th. So I will be nonstop for basically
Wow.
48 plus hours. Yay.
I'll be in North Carolina.
Cool. The Carolinas are gorgeous. Have you ever been there?
I love it. Yes. My
Yeah.
brother lives in, well, we'll be in South Carolina and we're going to go to North Carolina for the first time. So that's fun.
Love it. That's cool. All right.
Well, and Kelly, maybe if Courtney can't go and she has 2 tickets, maybe you could join us because she could give you her tickets. Unless she has all
Yeah.
but
I don't know. I was thinking about it, but yeah.
Kelly, if you want to come, maybe. There you go.
What? Wait, sorry.
I'm just saying Courtney might be able to give you her tickets and she can't be there. And but again, if you really want to come, we could probably just get you a ticket because now I'm trying to fill butts and seats, but I'll let Brian make the final choice.
Yeah, don't be giving
I
it
know,
up.
I'm sorry.
If Courtney does the sponsorship and she's willing to give a ticket to Kelly, yes, she can. Put yourself on mute. So
How about you call me an hour before, well, 3 hours before the show starts, and if her seats aren't filled, I'll come.
oh my gosh.
I don't like to wait that long.
I'm in Marysville and I need to drop my kids off in Briar and then go to wherever this place is. So I need some time.
That's funny. Courtney, I can send you an invoice if you want. I'm assuming you need it all official and stuff.
Yeah, do that.
I will happily do that. I already have your logo. I already have a write-up on everything about you because you're awesome. So
yeah,
that's really
and that's already been through compliance. So
okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
yeah.
She already left, but Karen is speaking next month, so I will let her know. And Marcel, actually, I think I started, or someone, doesn't matter. We're resetting the rotation, or we just recently reset it. So I'll try to put out the next 4-ish speakers coming up. But you're all coming back around, so get ready. That's it. That's it for today. I actually have a 2 o'clock to prep for, so I'm going to bail. But thank you so much for being here today, everybody. I appreciate your feedback and stuff about me. Thanks. You're awesome. And again, Courtney, thank you. And go be awesome, everybody. We'll see you again.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you all.